This is a mystery guitar pedal. I don't know what it does. I don't know how it sounds. I don't even actually know if it works. And so we're gonna make a full original song from scratch using this pedal without actually hearing it. Let's go. So what is the goal? Let's break it down. I want to record an original song from scratch. I want to use the mystery guitar pedal without hearing it, and I want to do it all within 24 hours, ideally. More on that later. So with that out of the way, let's take a closer look at this guitar pedal and figure out what we can learn just by looking at it. And honestly, there's not a whole lot to this thing. You've got your basic input and output. We've got a power input for a 9 volt, a switch to turn it on and off, and then right up the top is one knob. And that's it for controls. In the middle is a glorious artwork of Winnie Red's cigarettes. And then it seems to have this bile-coloured glue lathered over the top of it. It looks like the tar colour of whatever cigarette juice would look like. It's gross. But outside of that, there's no markings. There is nothing on this thing that gives away what it could be. One button, one knob, one packet of Winnie Reds. All right, so we've got our goal. We kind of know a little bit about the pedal. What's the actual plan here? How are we going to attack this? Well, let's have a look at that. First, I'm going to build the whole song out from start to finish with every instrument that I have access to. That's going to be things like drums, bass, vocals, and a dry signal for guitars that I'm just going to kind of use as a footprint. Next, I'm going to write all the lyrics from start to finish. I don't know what I'm going to write about yet. I'm just going to see what happens and see where it goes, because I don't know, that's kind of fun. Finally, I'm going to use the pedal and re-record all of the guitars. I'm going to do this without listening to it. And then we're going to listen to what masterpiece or monstrosity we've created. That's the plan, nice and clear cut. It's time to go to the riff lab. I have a basic idea for the kind of song that I want to write. And so I'm just going to piece together what I've got in my head. Now for the style of song, I'm going to go with a classic rock and roll sound. For the guitar tones, what I'm going to do is just pretend that this is some kind of an overdrive pedal of some description, maybe a distortion, something like that. Something that can give those guitars some rock and roll oomph. That's how I'm going to treat it, and then we will see how it goes when we do it. So first things first, what I'm going to do is go to one of my favorite websites and get a bit of a tempo for the idea that I've got. So I'm thinking this song sort of has like a bit of a... All right, so about 100 BPM. So let's set that. 100. I kind of want to start with that verse drum just to get that out of the way. I feel like in my head they might sound a bit like trashy, so they might be a little more compressed or have that sort of vibe. So let's just get those going. Yeah, I think I like that. Let's see if we can get a little bit of a beat. Okay, so I've sort of got the first drum sound going with a... And then I'm going to go into the second drums, which I want to be bigger and like really a different tone. So it's going to be sort of like a call and response. Like instruments. In terms of the second bunch of drums, let's go big. Yeah, that's what we want. All right, this could be cool. I'm gonna fill these drums out a little bit, and then let's move on to some bass. Hello, can you go? I'm gonna throw in a little bit of a bass line. I got a nice chunky... The sort of riff that I'm hearing is sort of like just like a nice looking tough sort of rock bass. So let's see how that goes. 2, 3. All right, we're getting there. We're getting there. Also, I'm in drop C sharp tuning, which is kind of where I usually sit for my vocal capacity. I like that tuning. It's heavy without being too low. All right, chorus. And then go back into a riff. It's guitar time. For the guitars, I'm gonna go a left and a right, both clean. On the left, I'm just gonna go, and there's nothing on it, there's no effects, there's no nothing like that, it's just basically straight out of the software. So, another thing is that I've tuned this, the bass is in dropped C sharp, I've tuned this to E flat. I can get some nicer chords ringing out with this, and this is kind of the vibe I want to go for. Nice and rocky, you know? So we'll go the Friedman on the left, and for the right, maybe an 800. I mean, that's pretty good. Nice, clean. Now, I've gone through, you can probably see on the bass there, I've gone through and I changed it from to much more flowy, bit more sort of groove, as a little less robotic. Let's see how we go. Maybe we'll do open power chords on the left and then like a lead sort of on the right. All right, let's quickly bang out the right guitar. I've got a couple of ideas for how I want this to sound. Initially in my head, I was like, do I want an octave following it? I gotta play with my guitar up here so you can see what's going on. All right, that's sort of a foundation for that. I do want to try one other way of playing this, so I'm going to do another guitar on this side. We'll mute that other one. I like the idea of inverted power chords like I was talking before. So much better, especially with that nice bend. I don't want to go too hard on this because eventually I'll need to re-record these guitars. Oh, I've got an idea. So I've got the drum part at the start, so I'll use the opening guitar. That's where I'll use this other guitar. That way, when the main riff hits, it's the power chords. So the intro guitars, I'm going to give a bit of a low cut and then bring them in so we just hear the pedal start to take shape. Add a low cut. Cool, that's pretty much the vibe. I'm going to fix these guitars now, and then let's get into writing some lyrics. While all that's going on, you're probably wondering, how did I get this pedal and why don't I know what it sounds like? Well, there's a really great little story for that. And I'm going to tell you. It all started a couple of years ago when my band, Dead City Ruins, flew to Sydney to play some gigs. One of my good mates, Voya, lives in Sydney and decided to come along. You probably know Voya, you've seen him on my channel before, we've done some music together. Anyway, he said to me, hey bro, I've got something for you. I'm not going to tell you anything about it. I just know you'll love it. So he brought me this plastic bag, and inside the bag was the pedal. I was like, holy crap, what is this? And he goes, trust me, man, you'll love it. I said, all right. And we made our way back home, and I put it on my shelf, and I forgot about it. Sorry, Voya, it's true. Anyway, I came across it again and thought, I still have this. I still don't know what it sounds like. Let's make a song. And so here we are. Anyway, let's see how we're going with this. Back to the riff lab. Howdy. Future Steve here. Remember before when I was saying more on the 24-hour thing later? Well, that time is now. So as it turns out, when you grow up, you gotta do grown-up stuff. Boring stuff. And unfortunately, life gets in the way of living. What I'm trying to say is there was actually about a 3-day gap between the first part of this video and the second part of this video. Now don't worry, I didn't do any work on the song in that time, but I felt like it was my duty to let you know I didn't make it. I didn't make the 24-hour cutoff. But none of that matters because we're back and we're making progress. I like the idea of writing about this guitar pedal because this is something that's new to me and I don't know anything about it, but I want to know more about it. And that kind of reminded me of wanting to know more about a particular person. I think the first thing that comes to mind meeting someone new is like their presentation. So you're looking at them, you're looking at their clothes, your boots are cool and your hat is fun. All right, when you're looking good, you're dressed all sharp. Looking sharp, you look sharp, sharp as a tack. Dressed up fine. Dressed up fine, sharp as a tack, dressed up. Dressed to the nines. Dressed to the nines. Sharp as a tack, dressed to the nines, sharp as a tack. Dressed to the nines, sharp as a tack. S into SH. Looking sharp, sharp as a tack. All right, we're going to go to my favorite website. RhymeZone is a great place because if you have something that you need to rhyme, you can just find a new word and then work your way backwards and fill the lyric out that way. I find that works really well. So we've got tack, hack, black, crack, slack. That's a good one. Slack. Maybe it could be like your mind's gone like rigid. Something's gone rigid and your jaw's gone slack. Made Made my pants all tight and my jaw gone slack. I feel like I'm writing a Blink 182 song. Made my pants all tight and my jaw gone slack. Hey, Mark. Terrible. I don't know. We'll figure that out. There's a packet of Winnie Red cigarettes on the front of this. I kind of want to work like cigarettes into this. Cigarettes. Like nice rise there. I like the idea of comparing like a wine to a cigarette. You're classy and like dangerous at the same time. Glass of wine, I'm like cigarette. Verse 2. I had a like, you know, I thought about like pressing buttons. Press your buttons and spin you down. Be gone for a while. That could be cool. Get comfortable. Pull up a chair. Going. There's no pronouncing the ing in rock and roll. Comfortable. I don't think I like that. We'll look up thesaurus to get comfortable. Relax yourself, because I'll be going for a while. Oh, so much better. Relax yourself. So for the chorus, I'm thinking just keeping it simple, maybe using kind of a famous saying, like the early bird gets the worm, you know, something along, obviously not that, unless we write a song about birds. I don't know. I'm just like spitballing ideas. I think I want to end it with saying there's just one thing that I have to say. I know nothing about you, and you know nothing about me. Be actually sick to get some slide in there as well in the chorus. So I'm trying to like figure out different sayings. I've got sort of a couple that come to mind, but like specifically talking about this, what you see is what you get is sort of what came to mind. So I feel like that could, you know, I mean, I don't know if that's true. So I don't know. If what you see is what you get, and then maybe talking about making a bet. I think that's the vibe we're just going to go for. Lay it down and make a bet. I mean, it doesn't get much easier than that. Lay it down. I mean, that's kind of like a go for it line. I feel like that works. All right, vocal time. I'm just going to like see if I can smash this out in one take.
Well, you're dressed to the nines, looking sharp as a tack. Leather jacket tie, make my jaw gone flare. There's just one little thing I have to say.
Okay, so harmonies, I think every second one.
Time, make my jaw gone flare. Lay it down and make a bed with me.
Yeah, I like that. All right, the moment of truth. Let's see if we hit this switch, we get power. 3, 2, 1. Oh, all right, I'm going to dial this thing into, I am just fully winging it here, but if that's 0 and that's 100, I guess like 70%. It's pretty good. If this is some kind of an overdrive pedal, I don't like pushing them too far. I think they sort of lose a bit of their taste after a while. So let's just stick with it about there. Right, we are jacked in to the Matrix. I'm soloing the original guitar, but I'm recording to this track. I can't hear that track though. So I can play along to the original recording of my guitar, but it's recording the new guitar being powered through our pedal. So let's do this. Now, this took a little while, and while I added some flair and extra creative guitar parts here and there, it really wasn't that exciting. So let's just skip ahead to the part that we're all waiting for. The moment of truth, the reveal. Let's see what this thing sounds like. Let's do it. Oh! I think it's a fuzz. Oh! Oh, wow. Unbelievable. Listen to that. I love that. I guess it's a fuzz of some description. I'm so stoked with that tone. I actually can't believe that. I'm going to hear that again. I need to mess around with the channel EQ. Voya, you do know me well. I feel like I dialed it in right where it needed to be. Let's have a listen to it by itself. Like, just, let's listen. Wonder what the slide sounds like. Oh, Unbelievable. All right. We finally know what the pedal sounds like. And I gotta be honest, I am so stoked with how it sounds. Of all the things it could have been, of all the sounds, a gritty, dirty fuzz has gotta be one of the best. And it just completely caught me off guard. But there's more to this mystery to be unraveled. See, once I had finished writing and recording and mixing all of this, I sent it to Voya, the guy who gave me the pedal. And he gave me all the remaining information on this mystical thing, and it's so cool. So Voya actually bought this pedal off the guy that made it. He made it from scratch. It was based off a 1970s Electro Harmonix muff fuzz. He goes on to say that the pedal is a one-off and that he will not do it again. This is the only one in existence, which makes it even cooler. It wasn't until after all this that Voya sent me this one video with like 70 views on it of the original guy testing this guitar pedal. What's even cooler is that down here he writes that he went for a dirty tobacco stained look with the clear coat to cause some imperfections. So when I shot the intro to this video a while back describing what I was viewing with the cigarette juice, that was the intended effect. So whoever you are out there, I'm picking up what you're putting down. So there you have it. That is the whole mystery unraveled. Now, for the remainder of the day, I went through and re-recorded some of the guitar parts just to polish it off, and I really put some conscious effort into bringing it out in the mix. I wanted to really showcase this thing, but I made sure to keep it within a reasonable time limit, spending no more than a couple of hours getting it where it needed to be. And I'm now going to leave you with the final product, at least the first part of the song. You'll be able to stream the full thing and hear the solo and bridge and all that extra stuff on all the streaming services. It is available to listen to. For those of you that made it this far, thanks for coming on this adventure with me. I've got a whole bunch of other ideas like this that I want to do. So subscribe if you want to see more. If you like this video, click the thumb to give it the horns and enjoy the song. I'll catch you next time.